see? You gotta stand close. Get closer. You gotta let it pulsate. Let the painting do its work. Closer! It's too close. There. There. Now you gotta let it spread out. Let it wrap its arms around you. Let it embrace you. Filling even your peripheral vision so that nothing else exists or has ever existed or ever will exist. Let the painting do its work. You gotta work with it. Meet it halfway, for God's sake. Lean into it. Lean forward. Engage with it. Now, what do you see? Wait. Now, be specific. No. Be exact. Yeah, be exact. But be sensitive. You understand? Be kind. Be human. That's all I can say. Be a human being for once in your life. These paintings, they deserve compassion. They live and die in the eye of the sensitive viewer. And they'll quicken if the empathetic viewer lets them. That's what they cry out for. That's why they were created. That's what they deserve. Now, what do you see?
Red.
But do you like it?
Mm-hmm.
Speak up!
Yes.
Of course you like it. Everyone likes everything nowadays. They like the television and the phonograph and the soda pop and the shampoo and the Cracker Jacks. Oh, everything is everything else. And it's all happy and nice. Oh, everything's fun in the sun. Where's your discernment? Where's the arbitration that separates what I like from what I respect? What I deem worthy? What has, now listen to me, significance? Maybe I'm just an old dinosaur. A dinosaur sucking up all the oxygen from you cunning little animals, hiding in the bushes, waiting to take over. Maybe I'm speaking a lost language unknown to your generation. A generation that doesn't aspire to seriousness or meaning and is unworthy to walk in the shadows of those that have come before. I mean those who have struggled and surmounted. I mean those who have aspired. I mean Rembrandt. I mean Turner. I mean Michelangelo, Matisse. I mean, Rocco. Do you aspire?
Yes.
To what? To what do you aspire?
Well, I'm a painter, so I aspire to paint.
Well, these clothes won't do. We work around here. Well, hang up your jacket outside. I appreciate you wearing your Sunday best. Kind of impressed me, all touching, poignant, really, but it's ridiculous. We work very hard around here. This isn't some goddamn old world salon with tea cakes and lemonade. Go hang up your jacket out there. Cindy tell you why you're here?
Yes.
Now we get here at work at 9 in the morning. We work till 5, just like bankers. You help me stretch the canvases and mix the paints and clean the brushes, build the stretchers, move paintings, and help me with the ground coat, which is not painting. So any lunatic assumption in that direction need to be banished immediately, huh? Yeah. You'll give me my food and cigarettes and anything else I desire, any whim, no matter how demeaning or how demanding. Huh? Now, if you don't like that, you can go ahead and leave now. Answer me!
Yes.
Consider, I am not your rabbi. I am not your father. I am not your shrink. I'm not your friend, and I'm not your teacher. I'm your employer. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yeah. As my assistant, you'll see many things here, many ingenious things. I want you to keep them secret. You're not to talk to anybody about any of this. Don't think I don't have enemies because I got ideas. I'm not talking about other painters, galleries, museum curators, goddamn son of a bitch art critics. Not to mention the panoply of disgruntled viewers who loathe me and my work because they don't have the heart, nor the patience, nor the capacity to understand, to think, because they're not human beings. Like we talked about earlier.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm doing a series of murals now. I'll do about 30 or 40 of them, and I'll pick out the best ones, the ones that work in concert, like a fugue. I'll be with the undercoat, and I'll paint. Then I'll look at them, and I'll paint some more. I like to paint in a lot of layers, one on top of the other, like building the image up, like a glaze, like pentimento. Letting that luminescence emerge into this gun.
How do you know when they're done?
There's tragedy in every brushstroke. Swell! How about a drink? Answer me a question. Now, don't think about it. Just tell me the first thing that pops into your mind. No cognition.
All right?
Yeah? You ready?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite painter?
Jackson Pollock. Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Ask me again. No, come on.
No, it's silly.
Please, ask me again.
Who's your favorite painter?
Picasso.
Pollock. It's always Pollock. Oh, don't get me wrong, he was a great painter. Doing very well. We came up together.
What was he like?
Have you ever read Nietzsche?
What?
Have you ever read Nietzsche, The Birth of Tragedy?
No?
You call yourself an artist? One can't discuss Pollock without it. One can't discuss anything without it. The hell are they teaching you in art now, huh? Have you read Freud? Young, Byron, Wordsworth, Turgenev, Skilly, Schopenhauer, Shakespeare, Hammond, for God's sake, tell me you read Hammond. Quote Hammond now.
To be or not to be? That is the question.
Is that the question?
I don't know.
You have got a lot to learn, my friend. Philosophy, theology, literature, drama, poetry, history, anthropology, archaeology, mythology, music. All of these are your tools, just as much as brushing pigment. Now, to be an artist, you must be civilized. And to be civilized, you must learn. One who is civilized understands where he belongs in the continuum of his art and his world. And to surmount the past, one must know the past.
I thought you said you weren't my teacher.
You should be so blessed I can talk to you of art. How do you feel?
Oh, how do I feel?
How did they make you feel?
Give me a second.
So?
Give me a second. Disquieted.
And?
Thoughtful.
And?
Sad?
Tragic.
Exactly.
Therefore, a restaurant.
What?
Therefore, a restaurant. Here I am minding my own business, and a Mr. Philip Johnson calls me. You know Philip Johnson, the world-renowned architect?
Not personally.
Of course you don't know him personally. You don't know anybody personally. Don't interrupt! So Mr. Philip Johnson calls me. He's working on the Seagram's building down on Park Avenue. He and Mies van der Rohe. These are two names from which to conjure, are they not? Philip Johnson and Mies van der Rohe. Titans in their field, revolutionaries. So they're making a building that the world has yet seen. A reflection of the golden ambitions of not only the city and its inhabitants, but of all mankind. And in this building, there's to be a restaurant called the Four Seasons, somewhat like the Vivaldi. And on the walls of this restaurant, $35,000 they're paying me. No other painter comes close. It is my first murals. Now imagine, if you will, a frieze all around the room, a continuous narrative filling up the walls, one after another. Each a new chapter, story unfolds. Look, and there they are, inescapable and inexorable, like doom.
Are these ones done?
They're in process. I'm studying them now.
Studying them?
Most of painting is thinking. Didn't they teach you that? 10% is putting brush to canvas. The rest is waiting. I've wanted this my whole life, my friend. A place. A place where the viewer can contemplate my work and give it the same attention, care that I give it. A chapel. A place of communion.
But it's a restaurant.
No. I will make it a temple. Rocco Rembrandt. Rocco Rembrandt and Turner. Rocco Rembrandt and Turner. Rocco Rembrandt and Turner.
Oh my! Chinese place is closing.
Everything worthwhile is. Huh? We're in the perpetual process now. Maturation, creation, cessation.
There's another Chinese around the corner.
Oh, yes. The eternal cycles grind on. Generations pass, hope turns arid, but there's another Chinese round the corner.
Not much for small talk.
It's small.
Went to the Modern last night. Saw the Picasso show.
And
Well, I don't think he's too interested in generations passing away.
don't kid yourself, kid. That man, though now it's charlatan, signing committees for money like Dolly, when he's not making ugly little pots, also for money, that man at his best understood the workings of time. You got a receipt? Tragic, really. You become superfluous in one's own lifetime. We destroy destroyed Cubism. De Kooning, me, and Barnett, Newman, and all the others, we stomped it to death. Nobody can paint a Cubist picture today.
You take pride in that. Stomping Cubism to death?
The child must banish the father. Respect him, but kill him.
And enjoy it?
Doesn't matter. Just be audacious and do it. Courage in painting isn't in facing the blank canvas. It's in facing Manet. It's in facing Velázquez. All we can do is move beyond what was there to what is here, and hope that we have some intimation of what will be here. What is past and passing and yet to come. That's Yeats, whom you haven't read.
Yeah, but come on. I mean, Picasso's obviously...
Picasso, I can thank for teaching me that movement is everything. Movement is life. From the second we're born, we squall, we ride, we squirm. To move is to live. A painting without movement is life.
Dead.
Precisely. Notice the tension between the parts of color, between the dark and the light, between the reds and the browns and the blacks. They exist in a state of flux, movement. Although they abut each other on the actual canvas, so too do they abut each other in your eye. They add, flow, and shift, gently pulsating. The more you look at them, the more they move. They float in space. They breathe. Movement, communication, gesture, flux. Let it work. They're not dead because they're not static. They'll float through space if you let it. But movement takes time. It's temporal. It requires time.
They need it. They don't work without it.
That's why it's important to me to have this place. This place where the viewer can contemplate the work and give it the time it needs to move.
Right, they need the viewer. They're not like representational pictures, like a landscape or a portrait.
Tell me why.
They move. They change. They pulse. Representational pictures are unchanging. They don't require the active participation of the viewer. You go to the Louvre in the middle of the night, Mona Lisa's still smiling. But do these paintings still pulse when they're alone? And that's why you keep the light so low.
Is it?
To help with the illusion. Like a magician, like a play. To keep them mysterious and let them pulse. Turn on the bright lights, and the stage effect is ruined. Suddenly, all you have is a bare stage with a bunch of fake walls.
What do you see?
My eyes are adjusting. Just white.
What does the white make you think of?
Bones, skeletons, charnel house, anemia, cruelty.
Really?
It's like an operating theater now.
How does white make you feel?
Frightened?
Why?
Doesn't matter.
Why?
It's like the snow. Outside the window, the room where my parents died, it was winter, and I remember the snow white. But the pictures in this light, they're flat. They're vulgar. This light hurts them.
See how it is with them? How vulnerable they are? Yeah. People say I'm controlling. Controlling the light, controlling the height of the pictures, controlling the shape of the gallery. It's not controlling, it's protecting. You know, these paintings, they live by companionship, but they die by the same token. It's a risky act sending them out into the world.
Do you ever paint outdoors?
What, out of nature?
Yeah.
No, nature doesn't work for me. The lighting's no good. And all those bugs. Oh, I know the plein air painters. They sing to you the endless paeans of the majesty of the natural sunlight. Go out there and muck around in the grass, they tell you, like a cow. Yeah, well, when I was younger and I didn't know any better, I'd throw my supplies out there. They would blow the paper over, easel would fall on the ground, hands would get into the paint. Boy, Vic. Then I'd go to Europe the first time. I'd go to Santa Maria del Popolo to see Caravaggio's conversion of Saul. And there it was. In a dark corner, in a dark little church, with no natural light, like a cave. But the pictures, they glowed with a sort of reverence, they glowed. Now consider, Caravaggio, he was commissioned to do this painting in this very specific spot. He had no choice. Oh, it was dark, it was like at the bottom of the ocean, it was so goddamn dark. He's looking around, wondering what to do. So he turns to his creator. God, unworthy sinner that I am, tell me, O Lord, what the fuck do I do now? And then it hits. Like a divine spark, it illuminates the picture from within. It gives it inner luminosity. It lives, like a bioluminescent fish at the bottom of the ocean, radiating its own effulgence. You understand? Caravaggio was... Bring me that first bucket. What the hell do you think I've been doing? Now give me that black number 4 in the second room. Come on. Give me a pinch of that black. Give me about twice that much of it. Give me twice that of the maroon. Come on.
Red.
I wasn't talking to you. God damn it! What? Don't you ever do that again! Like, what right do you have to speak? But what right do you have to form an opinion on my work? Who the fuck are you, huh? What have you done? What have you seen? But wait, here, you want to paint this red? Here's some red, and red, there! Jesus Christ! What is red anyway, huh? What is it to me? What, you mean scarlet? You mean crimson? What do you mean plum? Mulberry, magenta, burgundy, salmon, carmine, carnelian, coral? Anything but red? What is red?
I meant sunrise.
Sunrise.
I meant the red at sunrise. The feeling of it.
Oh, the feeling of it. What do you mean the feeling of
I
it?
didn't mean red paint only. I meant the emotion of red at sunrise.
Sunrise isn't red.
Yes, it is.
I'm telling you it's not.
Sunrise is red. Red is sunrise. Red is heartbeat. Red is passion. Red wine, red lipstick, red roses. Tulips, beets, peppers.
Arterial blood.
Yeah, that too.
Rust on the bike on the front lawn.
And apples. And tomatoes.
Dresden firestorm at night. The sun Rousseau, the flag Delacroix, the road of Belgrado.
An albino's eyes. Rabbit's nose, a parakeet.
Florentine marble, atomic flash. Nick yourself shaving, blood in the barbasol.
The ruby slippers. Technicolor, the phone on the president's desk to the Kremlin.
Russian flag, Nazi flag, Chinese flag.
Persimmons, pomegranates, red light district, red tape, rouge.
Lava, lobster, scorpion.
Sports car, stop sign, a blush.
Mishra, blade, dead vomit.
Traffic lights, Titian hair.
Slash your wrist, blood in the sea.
Santa Claus.
Satan! So, red, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
You have any more cigarettes? More than anything, you know what?
What?
Matisse's painting, The Red Studio. It was a painting of his own studio. The walls were a brilliant red. The floors and the furniture, all red, as if the color had radiated out of him and swallowed everything up. When Modern first hung that picture, I'd go in there and spend hours, day after day, just looking at it. I guess you could argue that everything I do today can be traced back to those bloodlines of the days of standing there, just looking at the painting, letting it pulsate around me, saturating me, swallowing me up. Such plains of red he made, such energetic blocks of color, such an ocean. It's a long time ago.
It's still there.
But I can't look at it.
Why not?
It's too depressing.
How can all that red be depressing?
I don't see the red anymore. Even in that painting. In that total and profound immersion in red. There it is. The mantle above the dresser, just over center line, set up by yellow of all goddamn things. He wanted it inescapable.
What?
Black.
The color black?
The thin black. There's only one thing I fear in life, my friend. Is that one day the black will swallow the red.
That's easy for you to say. You don't know the guy. No, I'll show it to him if I think the moment's right. Yeah, he knows I'm a painter. He's got to be expecting it. No, he's got to be in the right mood. Don't tell me what to do. You're just like him. He's here. I'll tell you how it goes. Yeah, pray for me. Good morning.
Morning. tin roof building last night. It's coming along.
How's the restaurant?
Still under construction. They gave me a tour of the place. I got a sense of it.
And?
Too much natural light, as always. But it'll work. You can still see the murals from the main dining room. I made some sketches. I'll find them for you later.
You ever wonder, maybe this isn't the right place for them?
How can this not be the right place for them when they're being made specifically for this place? Sometimes your logic baffles me.
Oh, I read Birth of Tragedy by Nietzsche, like you said.
Like I said,
Yeah. You said if I want to know about Jackson Pollock, I had to read The Birth of Tragedy.
I said it.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But it sounds very like something I'd say.
So what about Jackson Pollock?
First, tell me, what did you make of the book?
Interesting.
It's like saying red. Don't be enigmatic. You're too young to be enigmatic.
I think I know why you want me to read it.
Why?
Because you see yourself as Apollo, and you see Jackson Pollock as Dionysus.
Don't be so pedestrian. Think more.
No. Dionysus is the god of wine, of excess, movement, and transformation. This is Pollock, wild, rebellious, drunken, and unrestrained. The raw experience itself. Apollo is the god of order, method, and boundaries. This is Rothko, intellectual, rabbinical, sober, and restrained. The raw experience led in by contemplation. He splatters paint, you study. He's Dionysus, you're Apollo.
Exactly right. Except for entirely missing the point.
How so?
Where's the tragedy? The point is always the tragedy.
Yeah, for you.
Do you think human beings can be divided up so easily into characteristic types? Do you think the multifarious complexities and the nuances of the psyche, evolving over countless generations, perverted and demented by social neurosis and personal anguish, formed by faith and lack of faith, can be so goddamn simple? Pollock is emotion and Rothko is intellect. You embarrass yourself. Think more.
Maybe it's like one of your paintings.
Most things are. Ah,
Dark and light. And chaos, both existing in the same plane at the same time, pulsing back and forth. We pulse too. We're subjects of both Apollo and Dionysus, not one or the other. The ecstasy of the Dionysian at war with the restraints of the Apollonian.
not at war.
Not at war.
It's not really conflict. It's more like symbiosis.
Ah, they need each other. Dionysus' passion is focused, is made bearable by Apollo's will to form. The only way we can endure the sheer ferocity of Dionysus' emotion is because we have the control and intellect of Apollo. Otherwise, the emotions would overwhelm us. And so we go, back and forth, myth to myth, pulsating.
And we live the perfect life, perfectly balanced between the two. Everlastingly on the pole. But the tragedy is we never achieve that balance. We exist, all of us, for all time, in a perpetual state of dissonance. We long for the raw truth of emotion, only to endure it with the cool light of reason. We seek to capture the ephemeral and miraculous, putting it on the canvas, stopping time. But, like the entomologist penning the butterfly, it dies when we try. that, we human beings, we try to make the red black.
Well, the black was always there. Like the mantle in the piece.
Like the snow outside the window. It's always there. Once quenched, we can't help but being preoccupied with it. For the intimation of our immortality is, well, everywhere. But still, we go on, clinging to that last little bit of hope, that red, that makes the rest endurable.
Or just less unendurable.
That's my friend Jackson Pollock. It all just became unendurable.
What do you mean?
It's suicide.
He didn't commit suicide.
Didn't he?
No. No, Jackson Pollock died in a car accident.
Here's a man who drinks every day after day, gets hammered. And then one day, he jumps into an Oldsmobile convertible and races around tiny little country roads like a lunatic. Now you tell me what that is, if it is not lazy suicide. Let me tell you one thing. When I commit suicide, there won't be any mysterious crumpled up car in the ditch, did he or didn't he? I mean, Jesus, it's giving me a headache, it's so boring.
When you commit suicide?
What's that?
You said, when I commit suicide.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Well, you misheard. Let me tell you something about your hero. He confronted his tragedy. He was valiant in the face of it. And he endured it as long as he could. Then he tried to recede from life. How could he? He's Jackson Pollock.
What was his tragedy?
He became famous.
Don't be glib.
His muse evacuated. He grew tired of his form. He grew tired of himself. He lost faith in the viewer. Take your pick. He no longer believed there were any humans left around to look at his pictures anymore.
How does that happen to a man?
Perhaps you should ask how occasionally doesn't it happen?
No, I mean, he's an artist. He's in Life magazine. He's young. He's successful. He's got money.
That's exactly it. Here's a schmuck from Wyoming. He can paint. Suddenly he's a commodity. He's Jackson Pollock. I'll tell you something, my friend. That Oldsmobile convertible did kill him. But not because it crashed, but because it existed. Why the fuck did Jackson Pollock have an Oldsmobile convertible?
Ah, so artists should starve.
Yes, they should starve. But, well, except me.
All right, take a look.
You love Jackson. Well, he was a downtown guy. A real bohemian. No baker's hours for him, let me tell you. Up every night, out drinking and fighting and dancing and singing up all night. Real romantic's idea of what a real artist should be. An anti-rocker. But even at his worst, you still love him. Because he loved painting so. He thought painting mattered. He thought his painting actually mattered. Does not the poignancy stop your heart? I mean, how could a story not end in tragedy? Goya once said we have truth so that we may not alter from art. Pollock saw some truth, but he didn't have his art to protect him anymore. Who could survive that? Here, give me a hand. Coming home last week, passed a couple. The lady was looking in the window. She says, I wonder who owns all those Roccos. Just like that. I'm a noun. Morocco.
A commodity.
An overmantel.
A what?
An overmantel. Well, you know, those paintings that are destined to be interior decoration. You know, over the fireplace in the penthouse. They tell you, I need something to go with my sofa, you understand? Or something bright and cheery to go in the breakfast nook, which is orange. Do you have anything in orange?
Oh.
Maybe burnt umber or seafoam green? Here's a chip from Sherwin-Williams. Oh, can you cut it down to fit the sideboard? Or they tell you, darling, I must have one because my neighbor has one. Oh, that social climbing bitch, if she has one, I need three. Even worse than that, they say they read it in the New York Times where they should have one. Or someone read it in the New York Times where they should have one, because who's got time to read anymore? And don't ask me to look at it, please, for God's sakes, I can't look at it, it's too depressing. All those fuzzy rectangles. My kid can do that in kindergarten. This guy's a fraud, he's a scam. But still they buy it. It's an investment. It's a way to screw the neighbor. It goes with the lamp. It's a way of buying taste. It's a way of buying class. It's cheaper than a pie. It's interior decoration. It's anything but what it is. All right. Let's prime that canvas. I guess that'll do. Maybe it'll do. Perhaps it'll do. I don't know. What do you think?
You mean me? You want me to answer?
Well, who else?
That's a good base. Good ground layer. Nice and even.
We'll have to wait and see when it dries. Then I can start to paint.
You really care what I think?
Not at all. What? What is it?
I'm remembering something. The color. It's,
What?
never mind.
What is it?
Dried blood. When the blood dried, it got darker. On the carpet.
Which car?
Where my parents died. It's exactly the color. I remember when it dried, it got darker. And I remember being surprised by that.
What happened to your parents?
I don't want to talk about it.
Yes, you do.
They were murdered.
Did you say murder?
Mm-hmm.
How old were you?
7, back in Iowa.
What happened?
I honestly don't remember that well.
Sure you do. What do you see? What do you see?
I woke up.
The first thing I saw was snow outside the window. I was so excited because it was Saturday and my dad would take me sledding. He'd take me and my sister. But I didn't remember smelling anything, which was weird because normally my mom would be up making breakfast. It was quiet. So I put on my slippers, the little neolite ones that look like moccasins, and I go out in the hall. And now it's really quiet. It's cold. There's a window open somewhere. And then I see my sister. She's standing outside my parents' room and the door's open and she's staring in. She's just standing in a puddle of pee. And her eyes. So I go to the door. And I look in, and the first thing I see is snow. So much snow. I think maybe I'll still go sledding, you know? And then I saw the blood. The walls were stained with it, and the floor, and the bed. And there on the bed. It was a knife. I found out. Burglars. I found out later. 2 of them. Right now, I don't know what to do. All I could do is see. And I don't want my little sister to see. My little sister. So I turn around and I push her out, and I shut the door, and the handle with blood is red. That's all.
What happened then?
that, not much. Went to the neighbor's house, they called the police.
What happened to the two of you?
State took us, foster care. People were nice. Actually, they kept us together. They shoved us around a lot, you know, so we were rootless. She's married to a CPA now.
Root.
Never belonged. Never had a place.
You ever find the guys who did this?
No. I paint pictures of them sometimes.
You paint pictures of the men who killed your parents.
What I imagine them to look like.
Which is what?
Normal.
When I was a kid, back in Russia, I remember the Cossacks were hacking up some people and tossing them into pits. At least I think I remember that. Maybe somebody told me. Maybe I'm just being dramatic. It's hard to tell sometimes.
How old were you when you came here?
I was 10. We moved to Portland. Lived in the ghetto with all the other dinky-donky Jews. I was Marcus Rothkowitz.
You changed your name?
My first agent said he had too many Jewish painters on the books, so Marcus Rothkowitz becomes Mark Rothko. Now nobody knows I'm a Jew.
Can I ask you a question?
Can I stop you?
Are you really scared of black?
Scared of the absence of light.
Like going blind?
Like going dead.
And you equate black with death.
Doesn't everyone?
I'm asking you.
All right, yes, I equate the color black with the diminution of the light form.
Because black is darkness and decay.
Isn't it?
Because black is the absence of red.
Because black is the opposite of red. It's not on the spectrum, but in reality.
But I'm talking about painting.
When they talk about painting,
In your paintings, the bright colors are your Dionysian element, held in check by the strict geometric shapes, the Apollonian element. And these bright colors are your passion, your will to survive, your life force, if you will. And if black swallows those bright colors, you lose that passion and excess, and then what do you have?
oh, go on, I'm fascinated by it.
Lose those bright colors and you have order without content. Mathematics without numbers, just nothing but a bunch of empty, arid boxes.
Believe me, as you get older, it's harder to sustain those colors. The palette fades, but we race to catch them before they're gone.
But
What?
never mind.
What?
It had.
Me. And
I just think it's kind of sentimental to equate black with death. Sort of romantic.
romantic.
Not honest.
Really?
Well, I mean, we both know that black is just a tool, like ochre or magenta. Seeing it as malevolent is like strange sort of chromatic anthropomorphizing.
You think so? Like equating white with death, like snow.
That's different. That's just a personal reaction. I'm not building an entire artistic sensibility around it.
Well, maybe you should.
That's not my point.
It's your life, use it.
That's not what I'm trying to say.
Unless you're scared.
I'm not scared.
And then dive into all that
I'm
white.
not scared, it's just self-indulgent.
If you say so.
You know, not all art has to be psychodrama.
Doesn't it?
No,
You paint pictures of the men who killed your parents.
that's not all I paint.
Well, maybe it should be. Then you'd understand what black is.
All right, back to that. Oh, at least equating white with death isn't so predictable.
So now I'm predictable.
Well, kind of.
Dishonest and predictable.
Well, come on. The color black starts to infuse itself in the painter's work. Therefore, the cliche declension goes. He's getting older. He's losing touch. He's losing relevancy. He's saying goodbye.
Well, that is a cliche. Except for when it's not.
But it's not true.
Oh, so now you know true.
Look at Van Gogh.
Oh,
His last
Jesus.
works are nothing but color. He goes out and paints the most ecstatic blues and yellows known to man, and then shoots himself. Or Matisse. His last works are nothing but great shocks of primary color.
And you admire those colors.
Oh, absolutely.
Why?
Well, Matisse, he was dying. He knew he was dying. When he was too ill to hold a paintbrush, he used scissors, cutting up paper, making collages. He never gave up. On his deathbed, he was still arranging color patterns on the ceiling. He had to be who he was.
And you call me the romantic. Can't you do any better than that? The dying hero, Matisse. His last puny gasp, creating that final masterpiece. Or Jackson Pollock, the doomed, beautiful youth, dying like Chatterton in his Theatric Poetic. Huh? Or Van Gogh, Jesus, Van Gogh, trotted out on all occasions, the ubiquitous symbol for everything. The misunderstood martyr. Some of these men are reducing them down to your adolescent stereotypes. Grapple with them, yes. Argue with them always. But don't think you understand them. Don't think you've captured them. They're beyond you. Spend a lifetime with them. And then maybe you'll have a moment of insight into their pain. Until then, allow them the grandeur of silence. Silence is so accurate.
We need some coffee. Mind if I go out?
Go on. Wait! In the National Gallery in London, there's a painting done by Rembrandt of Belshazzar's Feast from the Old Testament, Book of Daniel. Now Belshazzar is the king of Babylon, and he's holding a feast where he blasphemes. And this painting, there's a divine hand that comes down and writes in Hebrew some words of warning on the wall. These words, they glow right off the dark canvas, like something miraculous. Now Rembrandt's Hebrew was atrocious, as you can imagine. But he wrote, Mene, Mene, Tekel Upharsin. You have been weighed in the balance and have been found wanting. That's what black is to me. What is it to you? to kill me. I swear to God, they're trying to kill me. Those prosaic insects. Those counter-jumping Arabista sons of bitches. Hanging up on the same wall that I hang. You appreciate that? My gallery, my walls. Polluted beyond all sanitation, beyond all hygiene. But like that East River, choked with garbage. All that superficial, meaningless sewage. Right there on the wall. The sacred walls of Motherwell, Smith, and de Kooning, and Pollock, and... What is it?
John Coltrane.
Jesus Christ, this motherfucker day couldn't get any worse.
Jazz.
Yeah, well, when you pay the rent, you can pick the record.
What'd you think of the exhibit?
Well, the murder.
Yeah, it's a little extreme, don't you think?
But not inaccurate.
You really think Jasper Johns is out to kill you?
Yes.
Oh, and what about Frank Stella?
Yes.
Robert Rauschenberg?
Yes.
Roy Lichtenstein?
Which one is he?
Comic book.
Yes.
Andy Warhol? You sound like an old man.
I am an old man.
Yeah, you're not that old.
Today I'm old.
Yeah, you say so.
That's my point. People like me, my contemporaries, my colleagues, the people I came up with, we all had one thing in common. We understood the importance of seriousness.
You're too much.
What?
You heard me.
What'd you say to me?
Who are you to say that they're not serious?
Look at their work!
I have.
Not the way you usually do, like over-eager undergraduates.
I have.
All right, then what'd you see?
Never mind.
No. You saw. What'd you see?
This moment, right now.
In those flags and soup cans and comic books?
This moment, right now. And a little tomorrow.
And you think that's good?
It's neither good nor bad. It's what people want.
Exactly my point.
Oh yeah, so art shouldn't be popular at all now.
It shouldn't only be popular.
You know, you may not like it, but as many people are genuinely moved today by Frank Stella as by Mark Rothko.
It's nonsense.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You know what the problem is with these painters today? It's exactly what you said. They paint for the right now, this moment, that's all. Such zeitgeist art. Completely temporal, completely disposable, like Kleenex.
Like Campbell soup cans, like comic books.
Do you seriously believe that Andy Warhol will be hanging in these galleries 100 years from now? Next to the Bruegels and the Vermeers?
No, he's hanging alongside Rothko now.
Because those son of a bitch gallery owners will do anything for money. Cater to any wicked taste. That's business, young man, not art.
You ever get sick of telling people what art is?
No, I don't. Not until they listen. Well, what? Better you should tell me? Fuck off.
You're just angry because the barbarians are at the gate. And what do you know? People like the barbarians.
Of course they like them. That's the goddamn point. You know what people like? They like happy, bright colors. They want everything to be pretty and beautiful. Jesus Christ, when someone comes up and tells me one of my paintings is beautiful, I want to vomit!
What's wrong with something being
What, pretty, beautiful, nice, fine? That's our whole life nowadays is fine. We tell us to put on the funny glasses and the nose and slip on a banana peel, and the television makes everything happy. Everyone's laughing all the time because everything's so goddamn funny. It's our constitutional right to be amused all the time, isn't it? To live a smirking nation under the tyranny of fine. How are you? Fine. How was your day? Fine. How are you feeling? Fine. How do you like that painting? Fine. Want some dinner? Fine. Let me tell you something, buddy. We are not fine. How are you? How was your day? How are you feeling? Conflicted, nuanced, troubled, diseased, doomed. I am not fine. We are not fine. We're anything but fine. Look at these things. God damn it, outside, look at these pictures. You see that fuzzy rectangle right there? It's like a doorway, like an aperture. Some sort of gaping mouth, letting out a silent howl, something feral and foul and primal and real. Not nice, not pretty, but real. Something immortal. Not scanned comic books. It's beyond me. Beyond now. And whatever it is not pretty. And it is not fun! I am here to stop your heart! You understand that? I'm here to make you think! I'm not here to paint some goddamn pretty pictures!
So said the last cubist before you stomped him to death. Tragic, really. To grow superfluous in your own lifetime. Isn't that what you said? The child must banish the father. Respect him, but kill him. All right? You went after the cubist, and boy, did you love it. Well, now it's your turn to go, Rothko, and you don't want to, but exit stage left, because pop art has banished abstract expressionism. I just hope they have more generosity of spirit than you did, and allow you some dignity as you go. You know, consider the last gasp of a dying race. Futility. But don't worry, you can always sign menus for money.
How dare you?
Do you know where I live?
What?
Do you know where I live in the city?
No.
Uptown, downtown, Brooklyn.
No.
You know if I'm married.
What?
You know if I'm married, dating, queer, anything.
No, why?
2 years I have worked for you. 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and you know nothing about me. Have you ever once asked me to dinner? Asked me to come over to your house?
No.
You know I'm a painter, right?
I suppose.
Answer the question. You know I'm a painter, right?
Yes!
Have you ever once asked to look at my work?
No! Why should I?
Why should you?
You are an employee. This is about me. All of this is about me. Now, if you don't like that, you can leave. Okay. That's what this is all about, huh? Poor little baby boy wounded. Daddy didn't pat him on his head. Mama didn't give you a hug this morning.
Stop it.
If I didn't kill him, don't blame me.
Stop it!
Now go find yourself a damn psychiatrist and sit here and you're whining. Your neediness bores me.
Bores you. Bores you! Jesus Christ. Try working for you for a living. The talking. Jesus Christ, when you ever shut the fuck up? Titanic self-absorption of a man. You sit there and try to look so deep when you are nothing but a solipsistic bully with your grandiose self-importance and your arias and your lectures and your... Let's not paint. Let's just look at the cans for a few weeks. Let's not paint. Let's look. And Jesus Christ, the pretension. Oh, there's an artist in the history of all art that has ever tried so hard to be significant. You know, not all art has to be so goddamn important. Not everyone wants art that rips out their guts. Not everyone wants art that hurts. Sometimes you just want a still life, or a portrait, or a landscape, or a soup can, or a comic book, which you might understand if you ever left your goddamn hermetically sealed submarine here with all the windows closed and no natural light, because natural light isn't good enough for you! But then nothing is good enough for you, ever, is it? Museums are just mausoleums. Galleries are run by pimps and swindlers, and art collectors are nothing but shallow social climbers. So who is good enough to own your art? Anyone? Or maybe the better question is this. Who is good enough to see your art? That's it, isn't it? We have all been weighed in the balance and have been found wanting. You say you spent your whole life looking for real human beings that can look at your art with compassion. But in your heart, you don't believe they exist anymore. So you lose hope, and you lose faith, and black swallows red. My friend, I don't think you would recognize a real human being if he were standing right in front of you.
Don't give up so easy.
Oh, it's not a game!
You do make a salient point, though not the one you think.
Yeah, naturally.
I do get depressed when I think about how people will see my painting, whether they'll be unkind. Selling a painting is like sending a blind child into a room full of razor blades. It'll get hurt. Never been hurt before, doesn't know what hurt is. Well, I want to do something different with these ones. Make them less vulnerable, more robust. That's why I've used hues from the earth to give them strength. They're not alone. And they have each other for companionship and protection. And they have this place. A place made just for them. It's a reflection. Safety.
A place of contemplation.
Yes.
A place with no distraction.
Yeah.
A sacred place.
Yes.
A chapel.
Yes.
Like the Four Seasons restaurant. At least Andy Warhol gets the joke.
You don't understand.
It's a fancy restaurant in a big high-rise owned by a rich corporation. What's not to understand?
You don't understand my intention.
Your intention is immaterial. Unless you intend to stand there next to your pictures for the rest of your life giving lectures, which you would actually probably enjoy, the art has to speak for itself, right?
Yeah.
So just admit your hypocrisy. The high priest of modern art is painting a wall in the temple of consumption. You rail against commercialism in art, but pal, you're taking the money. Now sure, maybe you can convince yourself that you're building a place of contemplative awe, but at the end of the day, you're just decorating another dining room for the super rich. And these are just the most expensive overmantles.
Do you know why I took this commission?
It appealed to your vanity.
How so?
Could have gone to de Kooning. Went to you. It's the flashiest mural commission since the Sistine Chapel.
And you turned it down.
In a second.
It's easy for you to say.
You know what it is? It's your Oldsmobile convertible. Come on. You don't need the money. You don't need the publicity. Why make yourself a hypocrite to the Seedrum Corporation?
No, I didn't enter into this capriciously. I thought about it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, and of course it appealed to my vanity. I'm only a human being too. But still I hesitated. I had the same thought. Is it corrupt? Is it immoral? Am I just feeding the whim of the bourgeoisie? Is it right? And I'm thinking about what my murals will look like when I take a trip to Europe. And I happen upon Michelangelo's Medici library on the floor. Is that any good?
No.
Now when you go, be sure to look for the stairway. It's hidden away. It's a tiny vestibule. It's like a vault. It's so cramped. It goes all the way up for 3 stories to the top. Michelangelo, he embraced this claustrophobia. He painted false doors and windows all the way up to the top in rich reds and browns. And there it was. He achieved just that feeling I was looking for the Four Seasons. He makes the viewer feel as though he's trapped in a room where all the doors and windows are bricked up, leaving him nothing to do but to butt his head against the wall forever. And I know those rich bastards in New York are all going down to the dime and show off. And I hope to ruin the appetite of every son of a bitch at work there.
share this with secret people?
You compliment that they turn the murals down now, but they won't. How about a drink? Hmm?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know if I believe you.
About what?
This malicious intent of yours. The old lion still roaring, trying to provoke, trying to stick it to the bourgeoisie. It doesn't scare.
Too romantic for you?
Too cruel to them. Your paintings aren't weapons. You'd never reduce them to that. Sure, maybe you started the commission thinking that way, but then art happened. So you're stuck. What can you do? You paint yourself into a corner. You should forgive the expression.
No. You're wrong. Their power will transcend the setting. They'll work together, whispering to each other in rhythm. They will create that place. Do you think I'm kidding myself? You think this is some monumental act of self-delusion? Answer me. Answer yes!
I'm fired, aren't I?
Fire! Hell, it's the first time you've existed. I'll see you tomorrow.
Obviously. If you want a towel or something, or maybe a paintbrush.
I went there.
What?
Four Seasons. After our chat yesterday, I went there to have dinner. It's been open a couple of weeks now. Thought I'd finally take a look.
What do you see? see?
You enter 52nd. You go up a stairwell to the restroom. You hear the room before you see it. Glasses clinking the silverware. Voices hushed here, but growing as you get closer. Such a desperate sound. Like forced gaiety at gunpoint. And then you go in. Feel underdressed. Feel too goddamn Jewish for this place. And you give your name. Pretty little blonde hostess gives you a look that says, I know who you are, and I'm not impressed. We have millionaires eating here, pal. And then she snaps her finger for the maitre d', who snaps his finger for the captain, who snaps his finger for the waiter, who brings you through a crowded room to your table. Heads turn. Everyone looking at everyone else. Like predators. Who are you? What are you worth? Should I fear you? Should I own you? And then the wine guy comes. He's French. You feel inadequate. You don't understand anything. He doesn't care. You embarrass yourself by ordering something expensive, trying to impress him. He goes unimpressed. And then you can't help it. You start to hear what people are saying. That's the worst. The voices. Like chattering monkeys and barking jackals. It's not human. Everyone's clever, and everyone's laughing. No one's looking at anything. No one's thinking about anything. Just chattering and barking and eating and the knives and the forks click and clack and the words cut and the teeth snap and snarl. In that place. There. Who live my paintings forever. I wonder, do you think they'll ever forgive me?
They're only paintings.
Mr. Philip Johnson, please. Mark Rocco. Philip! Hey, this is Rocco. Listen, I went by your place last night, and let me tell you something. Anyone who eats that kind of food and a joint like that for that kind of money is not going to be looking at any paintings of mine. So I'm going to send you your money back and keep you the paintings. No offense. No, that's just the way it goes. Yeah, well, good luck to you too, buddy.
Now you are Mark Rothko!
Only poor.
You don't need money to be wealthy.
It helps.
This is a day for the books. We need to celebrate. It's
You're fired.
What?
You're fired.
Why?
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
No, just write your address down on a piece of paper and I'll send you your last check.
You owe me an explanation.
I don't owe you anything.
2 years I've worked for you. You just want me to walk out just like that?
You want a goddamn retirement party?
I want a reason!
None of your business.
I want a reason!
Because I'm tired of your neediness, okay? I don't need your need, eh? Ever since you were 7, you've been looking for a home. Well, this ain't it, pal, and I'm not your father. He's dead. Sorry, but that's just the way it is.
Oh, all right, Dr. Freud, you can do better than that. Come on!
I told you.
Why?
Because I don't need an assistant.
Bullshit!
Because you got lousy takes.
Bullshit!
Because you talk too much.
So do you.
Because I'm sick of you.
Bullshit!
Because you need to be out there. Okay? You don't need to spend another moment here with me. You need to be out there with your contemporaries. You need to be out there to make your world, make your art. Be out in the thick of it, shake your fist at them. Talk their ear off. Make them listen. Look, well, when I was a young artist, it was a lonely time. We didn't have any money, we didn't have any critics, no collections, nothing, no galleries. We didn't even have mentors. Hell, we didn't have parents. It was the greatest time. Because we had nothing to lose, but a vision to gain. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.